quick video on a Monday morning. More, should say, recent developments on the Ukraine front, should say. There's news. The Russian defense minister were calling all NATO ministers of defense. By his intel, a dirt bomb could go off in heartland Russia or one of the 4 republics of Donbass vaccination regions, which is a part of the Russian Federation now. Then you got Ukrainians, which had evacuated their famous city of Nikolaev, or whatever it is, because they've been saying even the Ruskies was going to set off a dirt bomb down there. The most amazing thing was Zelensky, in an interview with the Canadian television, asking for NATO to bomb think centers in Russia. That is really crazy stuff, because practically he's asking NATO to attack Russia by bombing them. Ukraine is not a, what you may call it, member country of NATO, but there are, strange enough, NATO private contract military there, and you have got the Polish army going around with Ukrainian uniforms involved in missions against the Russian military. Doesn't make sense. You're practically declared war by doing this. Is NATO going to take out or fulfill Zelensky's what do we call it, words? I don't think so, because you don't need nothing, and Europe will turn 80 years into another bloody war. Whilst the protests in NATO countries, Europe, against NATO, against sanctions, against inflation grows, I think governments in Europe will have those domestic issues to deal with. And obviously NATO and America is running low on stockpile of weapons which they gave to Kiev. And the 101 Storm, which never hasn't been deployed since the war in Europe, is said to be in Romania. They're specialised of combating in certain war scenarios. I think they were the best part of the infantry of the US Army. And obviously there's been a lot of build-up of military hardware and troops, so-called nuclear exercises or drills. That doesn't spell too well, because sooner or later something's going to happen down there. Whilst in Kherson. Whilst the civilians were retreating, the Ukrainian army were using HIMARS missiles against the population while they were evacuating. And they talk about war crimes of Russians. What about them? It was a nationalist army. They call themselves nationalists, but they're really ass-off-butt cunts which are doing this. To round off, there's been a whole series of sabotage. That mainstream pipeline a while ago, and the Crimean Bridge, and there's been a few in mainland Europe. The underground, you see the sea, underwater communications, they were sabotaged. And France, we've been hearing the main phone land cables sabotaged in Marseille, in France. That is big stuff, that is. Totally cut. And Biden and NATO said they will be able to strike if Article 5 gets violated. Probably they're just waiting for a false flag incident to spark it off. And mind you, it's the midterm elections for Biden. Probably his appreciation rates are going down because obviously Americans are not too happy about, on the domestic front, what he's doing. And the situation's pretty delicate and fragile. Whether these war hogs will reason a little bit to avoid some type of tactical nuclear warfare or not, we'll have to see first.